Talking Nachos is dedicated to helping you do three things as a dentist: increase, decrease stress, and most of all, reduce the number of times you feel like crying inside a day. This is Mr. Grumbly, who represents what it feels like to cry inside. And we have amazing supporters and sponsors helping our community cry less inside. So, my guest today, could you share who you are and what you do to help dentists cry less inside?
Yes. Hey guys, Paul, good to see you. My name is Tessa. I'm with Dentist Insurance Services. We provide everything that you need to protect your practice and your career. So anywhere from malpractice insurance to cyber, business owners, workers' comp, everything that you need to make sure that you're properly protected.
And I will share the stuff you need, the stuff you want to make sure you have before you need to use it, right? Stuff you want to make sure you have before you need to use it. And as a practice owner, it can be so overwhelming to keep track of all the insurances that we need. So I appreciate you guys supporting our community with this. Today, we're going to talk about a traumatic experience for me when my office was hacked. Okay. I will share with you. It was one of the worst 3 days of my life outside of personal tragedies that have happened to me. Our office was hacked. Everything went fairly well, and it was still just such a stressful, intense experience. I know you help dentists with this, Tessa. Tell us a story about one of your clients or your dentist with this.
Yeah, so we recently had a dental office go to pay a normal invoice that they would always pay. It was $1 million invoice, and what the hackers did is they changed the email address from a lowercase I to an L, and so it ended up looking like the same exact email address that they would normally get for their invoice. They paid that $1 million invoice, and it was poof gone.
Gee.
And so, yeah, it was absolutely horrible, horrible to watch, horrible to help them through. But thankfully, they had Coalition Cyber Insurance. So not only were they able to, have that coverage for that claim, but now moving forward, they have active insurance from Coalition so that Coalition is now monitoring their email addresses, monitoring their domains on the back end. And so it's just really, really nice for, them to know that, they weren't alone through it. They were able to work through it
Yeah.
with Coalition and also just, be properly protected because that's,
So they had my other thing here is they had the right people on their team with you guys to be able to solve a true crisis. I mean, that's a true crisis that they were
oh my
facing.
God. Yeah. I mean, $1 million to the wrong person and you
Yeah.
still have that invoice to pay.
Right. And tell us now, we're here to educate. We're here to responsibly concern people. Another word for scare. So scare us into good behavior. Someone who's watching, who's a dental practice owner, is watching us thinking, I don't even know if I have the right thing to cover me. If my office gets hacked, if ransomware, people can text cyber to 215-543-6454 to connect with you and your team. But kind of just educate us like, what do they do when they talk to you? When should they talk to you? Can they make sure they have the right stuff if they talk to you? Now scare us into responsible behavior.
Yeah. When you guys contact us, we just want to, first of all, if you have patient files, you need this coverage. You
Yeah.
need third-party coverage. Your payroll company can be hacked as well, and they can pay fake employees. So if you have patient files, contact us. We have free risk assessments. They will run your domain, your email addresses. We will make sure for free that you are either currently properly covered, don't have any exposures on your website, but we just want to we really want to make sure you have the first and third party. And we're just happy to help to make sure that a scenario like that does not go without you having the proper coverage. Especially since HIPAA requires you to buy the patient's credit monitoring if the patient file is hacked. And so that's where it gets really expensive.
I love this. So you basically can get a free risk assessment to find out if you're at risk, right?
Absolutely.
Free
And
risk
all
assessment.
I need is your website and your annual estimated revenue. So I'm not asking for a 30-page application or anything like that. It would make it super easy.
So take advantage of this opportunity through our awesome sponsors. This is what Dental Nachos is all about. Marketing your practice to bring in new patients and joy is just as important as protecting yourself from risk, just as important to make sure your information is safe, just as important to make sure you be able to run your business. Because outside of this $1 million invoice story, you also run across, hey, I can't get my patient data and we can't run the practice. Or, I don't know how to get it back, or I now have to report this to the government or things like that. Are there just these consistently, I'll call them consistently cry inside situations that your clients are dealing with.
Yeah, absolutely. And Coalition helps walk you through all of that. They help, make sure that you have all the proper things in place. Like I said, it's active insurance, so they're actively monitoring everything on like the dark web and stuff like that. And so, and the policies have business income in them, and it's expensive to be down even for a few days.
Yes, that's when something happened, I'm just kind of sharing my story. When we had this happen, I can laugh because a long time ago. Somehow I felt I could not do dentistry, even though my computers had nothing to do with dentistry. The whole energy in the office was just so off, right?
Yeah.
Like, even though what happened had nothing to do with drilling on a tooth, nothing to do with extracting a tooth, even though I was part of my dad's practice from when I was 5 and there weren't even computers, it just totally disrupts everybody's mindset when this happens. And then also, on the other side of it, like if Target gets hacked and they send me a message saying, "Oh, you were hacked," I kind of get annoyed with Target, even though like I'm like, how could you be so irresponsible, Target, right? I
Yep.
don't stop going there because it's my daughter's favorite place. But I just think when you can show your patient base that you're doing everything responsibly, that you're handling things well, and I just think that the entire privacy, security, and now just kind of as we wrap up, explain to dentists why this is. Am I calling it PHI? Is that the right thing? Like why we have such important things to protect with patient information.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have patient information, the social security numbers, the date of births. You guys have all of that information. And so, I mean, dental offices are the easiest targets for these hackers. If they shut you down because of a ransomware hack, like you have no choice but to pay them because, like you just said, you felt like you could not even do
Right.
dentistry.
Yeah.
And we live in a electronic world. And so, yeah, the dental offices are becoming a prime target for this. And the average claim is about $400,000 because of the credit monitoring that you have to pay for per patient file. And so, yeah, we for the amount that cyber insurance is to have at least $500,000 in coverage is, I mean, such a peace of mind.
I love what you're sharing. But team, if they can get a screenshot of me, you, and Mr. Grumbly, you want to defeat Mr. Grumbly. Don't let this happen to you. There are so many cry inside things that can happen inside of our dental practice. And one of the things that I'll share to hopefully inspire audiences, you can't control this happening, but you can control protecting yourself. You can control mitigating risk. Take advantage of this opportunity. Do the free risk assessment. Text cyber to 215-543-6454 to connect with our amazing sponsor or reach out to us at dentalnachos.com. Thanks so much for sharing with us, Tessa.
Thank you.